Okay, this is my fourth addition to the advanced French discussion. I wanted to present a real master game played between Victor Korchnoi as black actually and Molander as white. So I wanted to give this as an example of the main line of the French advanced variation, and also because I feel Korchnoi is one of the top experts, or at least was one of the top experts back in his days of the French defense. So I wanted to present a game of his. Now this is a quite modern game for Korchnoi. I mean, his peak was he has been on the top for ages, but his very top of his chess career has been in the 70s and 80s. So this was based in 2002, and he still presents excellent chess despite he's 150 years old, you know. Not quite that old, but I don't remember the age now, so I just throw some numbers in. Okay, let's go directly into the game. So we're talking about the advanced variation, c5, c3. Korchnoi decided to play queen b6 first. Well, if you are going to go to this line, it doesn't really matter then the move order, those are just nuances. So knight c6, so this is the main line of the advanced variation, and white's main move is a3, so you have to know how to play against that. The knight is developed to h6. Now Korchnoi is known to play also knight d7 at times. Okay, b4 the main line, and black has to exchange. It doesn't really, well, taking on d4 is better than taking on b4, but quite similar lines. Probably white will anyway take with the c pawn back, so okay, but this just takes away the option of taking white with the a pawn. And like you see from the arrows, this knight is going at the pawn, so now everything is set against this pawn. It's a weak pawn, and as you can see, white has everybody attacking there. This is the key attention point of the opening. So white will defend, and this defense with bishop b2 is an option, actually another option. It's a question of this opening where to go with the bishop. If you go here, you have the bonus that the queen is not making a pin on this file, on the bishop, thus rendering this b4 pawn a little bit of a non-existent, and allowing black some tricks with knight a5 or similar moves. So bishop b3 avoids those problems, but on the other hand, it's more passive there, and it doesn't support e5 in some positions. So fianchettoing your bishop on b2, so to speak, is a more popular move, but which is better, who knows. Okay, so this move, and now black plays bishop b7. Now, and if you want, I will go quickly through this game. I just want to show that in the main line the bishop belongs here, like I said in my first video, I think. But it's not clear which piece is developed. It should be developed first. Also, it's quite good to develop this piece in this position. Black is not so worried about g4, because that will make white's king side quite strange looking, so black is not worried about that. Okay, white plays bishop to d3. Now I think, if I remember correctly, I was reading an article back in 5 years ago that this bishop d3 is now regarded as a bad move because of this game, or not the best move, and that black equalizes, and Korchnoi makes greater use of this pin by playing a5. Now many times in this kind of positions also tricks like knight a5 to c4 are used, but of course as the queen is coming here and checking, that will be a check. Now the knight a5 moves don't work quite yet. Korchnoi decides to choose another path, playing a5, attacking the b4 pawn, so that he has two targets now. Okay. Molander plays queen a4. I think quite many positions you have to consider in some point. Is taking here a good option or not? Now this would create a pawn structure, such as I will show you, that black will place this bishop here, and his position is very solid. White has the bishop on the same color as the pawns, so that will be poor, and I think black has more freedom to attack and has a more, in general, nicer game. More active game than white. But having said that, the positions tend to be a little bit drawish, and maybe white was going for advantage. So instead of that, white played queen a4 and black castled. Very reasonable move, because now after he plays bishop d7, the rooks will be connected, and that is a good thing, because then he will be threatening to take on a b4. So white avoids that by playing b5. Okay, and now black further uses this pin to his advantage, noticing that he doesn't have to move the knight. Why move the knight? He continues to attack the center. Okay, and this is such a typical French move, this f6 here. It's what you would expect. What else to play? You want to attack the center, and these pawns, make these pawns weak, prove them weak. Okay, white castles. So white is rather well developed. Black takes his time to destroy it at the center and plays bishop d7. Okay. In this position, you might think that there are tricks involving taking the pawn, because now white is attacking here if black would take here. But the point is that also not only is the bishop weak, but the rook behind it is also weak, so that doesn't really win anything, because black can answer here, and after take the rook, and you know, black is ahead in material and should do well in this game. Okay, so that is not a problem here. Instead, white plays knight to c3, and Korchnoi enters a whole mess of a position, I think, because but a good position for him, but these tactics come quite lively here. In the game it doesn't show so well, but behind the scenery there are a lot of tactics going on. Knight c to d4, knights are exchanged, rook a to d1, very logical move actually. White is now applying pressure on d4. He has tricks like bishop takes h7 at some point when this knight is a weak knight. Black plays rook f4. And I'm gonna go only a couple of moves ahead. I'm entering now into the key position, and I will make video 2 out of this in order to spend time on the key position. But I'm now about to enter the key position past the opening. White plays king h1. One of the reasons is that black was here threatening to play this discovering on the queen. So that is why he plays king h1, and black doubles here. And this is the key position. I'm going to continue with this on another video so that I don't run into problems with the time. Alright?